All right. What's good? What's good? What's good? Hope y'all are well. Shout out to Marcus the Villain with a $5 holler, brother. What's going on, man? Let me say what's up to the. First of all, let me say what's up to everybody. Ray Patterson in the building. What's going on, man? Gabe Toss, Control LeGrew, Mr. Mileage on the money line. Marcus the Villain. Shout out to the channel member. Every channel member is getting a gong. Shout out to the channel member, Marcus the Villain, in the building. Ray Patterson, what's going on? All right, we'll wait for y'all to come in. We got like 12 people so far. Yeah, I'm showing up on time, man. I'm getting off of CP time. I'm gonna be working on time, like I promised Barbara D I would be doing. 9 o'clock. Let's talk about this fun boxing. Turki Alalshiekh is forced to retire before Gervonta Davis. Terence, Crawford, and Claressa Sheilds got issues. I do not expect this to be a video that is populated with a lot of people, but we're going to have some fun time talking about it. What going on, people? What up, King Kafka? Man, I ain't seen Franz Kafka in a minute. Franz Kafka, what up, man? Where you at, Franz Kafka? Love down Gaither with it. Man, I'm good, bro. Can't wait to talk this boxing this morning, man. Feel inspired. Thank you, man, for joining the channel, brother. Mr. Infinity Excel, new member. Thank you, bro. I am really trying to replace super chats with memberships. We got new chat. We got to have membership content coming up today, later on today. And to tell you the truth, there's going to be some things other than just regular boxing. I may get into politics. I might start saying some other stuff on those private members only things that I'm doing. And if you guys have anything you want me to do, if you're a member and you want me to do something or comment on something in the in a members only video, let me know. Yep, I appreciate it, man. What's going on? Adventure Benedicitis. I don't know, what is that, man? A Ventura. What is that? Ace Ventura? Is that what that is? I've been around for long. Just changed my handle. I love being here for all your wisdom and guidance. Thank you, Infinity Excellence. Let me tell you right now, bro, Turki Alalshiekh is going to have to retire. And he's being forced to retire before Gervonta Davis was forced to retire. The way that I think that what I've seen in boxing is an existential, a battle for the very existence of boxing. Z Raymond said, great news, Top Rank got their deal with DAZN. Congratulations to all the young fighters over there on DAZN, over there on shout out to Top Rank. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad. It's the type of deal. It's a good deal for Top Rank because people will say, it's not a lot of money. It's $1 million a card, but that's $1 million a card for them to work with. My video tiny, haha, Wido. I have no idea what you're talking about, man. Your video is tiny. You mean like because I'm sitting over here? It's because you're watching on your phone. That's because you're watching on your phone. That's why. That's why. Anyway, oh man, shout out. Oh yeah, we got the 2 channel memberships. Shout out to the channel memberships. Anyway, wait for Cass to come on, man. I know y'all ain't used to me being here on time. I know y'all ain't used to me being here on time. My stream looks Tony. Never did before. Let me check. Come out. I'm dog. If you're on your phone. Grand Rising OG Finance salute. Shout out to you, Enigma. Another channel member. Let me get going to another channel member. Shout out to my channel member, Enigma, the writer's block. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, man, let's talk some stuff that you guys are not going to get anywhere else so I can add some value to your life. And I think that we are in a battle for the very survival of the sport of boxing. And We are seeing a player in the sport of boxing. Now, if put a 1 in the chat if I'm right when I said this. Did you or did you not hear that Turki Alalshiekh is the only reason that all these big fights have been taking place? And that Turki Alalshiekh is the only one that can make these big fights. Well, what happens if Turki Alalshiekh can't make big fights? I'm asking a question to you guys. Please put the answer in the comment section, and I'll read the comment. If it is true that Turki Alalshiekh is the only reason that these big fights were able to be made, and Turki Alalshiekh is no longer able to make those fights, what does that mean? It means that nobody is able to make those fights. It's a very simple one. Don't go too far with it. It just means that nobody's going to be able to make those fights. So all of the fights that involve Turki Alalshiekh, where he got on the phone and he was called Your Excellency, if Turki Alalshiekh is not able to do that, then those fights can't be made. No, I mean, but look, Fern, I'm saying if the first statement was true, that those fights could not be done without Turki. So if those fights cannot be done without Turki and the other fights can't be done without Turki, and Turki's not around, that means those fights can't be done. And whose fights are these? The fights are the Matchrooms fights, Matchrooms fights, Frank Warren's fights. It's going to affect everybody that relied on Turki Alalsheikh's influence to get the money where they want the money to be. It's that simple, and it's using their own words. This is what they said. They constantly say that Turki is the only reason that we got to see all of these fights with Tyson Fury, all of the fights with Alexander Usyk, all of the fights with Anthony Joshua over the last couple years, the Shakur Stevenson's fights, Devin Haney's fights, Keyshawn Davis's fights. How many people have said call Turki? Right? I don't think this is me being, how do you say, negative. I'm just saying that if that's the case, then you can't have the fights if Turki Alalshiekh can't put on the fights. We also know that there's a two-tiered system. One is where you have the pay that you get for a fight in Saudi Arabia, and then there's the money that you get for the fights in the United States. That is what we know of Shakur Stevenson's contract. Shakur said, if I do recall correctly, and I think I do recall correctly, that that when he argued about how much money he was getting paid on his first fight dealing with Turki Alalshiekh, he said that there was two different prices. One is for the fights in Saudi Arabia. The other one's for the fights in the United States. And if you want to get the big money, you got to go to Saudi Arabia. So you had the two-prong, right? But then without Turki, boxing will disappear. No, boxing is not going to disappear. I'm saying, remember, these are people that I don't agree with. What's up, Louis Shipman? How you doing, brother? God bless you, brother. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, brother. Oops. Man, I hate that I just messed up my paper. I throw that away. Sit this down. Anyway, I already used without. Yeah, exactly. That's what they said. But no, the logical thing is that you're going to have to find a new resource for Turki. But Turki has already inflated the cost of fighting so high that nobody is going to be able to pay that much money. Since there's nobody else, first of all, there was nobody that was paying that much money other than Turkey. So with Turkey gone, that means your inflation that you set in on boxing is going to force you guys to have to make fights where you get views and things, unless you find some other sugar daddy that is willing to just burn the money. Now, I already said I think you guys are talking about Daniel Ellison, hoping that Daniel Ellison is going to be the one that's going to burn the money for you. I'm going to tell you right now, no way in the world is Daniel Ellison going to be burning that money for you. He's not going to be burning the money for you. He's going to keep the money for himself and for all of his partners. He has no interest in giving and paying you guys $150 million for a boxing match. Now, I got a video coming up later today, and y'all ain't going to like my conclusion because we have a very difficult position. And by the way, please join as a channel member. Join as a channel member. I got to think of all kind of perks for channel members, like the videos we're doing every day. But man, if you guys come every day and you guys super chat every once in a while, just get a chat, get a super chat. I mean, get a channel membership, man, and keep your channel membership renewed. That would be really, really great, man. Because, you know, boxing is going to be really slow these days for these guys. Nobody's buying their video. Nobody's buying their views. Nobody's going to be able to buy. How is people going to be able to buy your views with the money? It's going to be very interesting. Now, let me tell you why I say that this is funny that this is happening to Turki Alalshiekh before it happened to Gervonta Davis. Thank you, 2 Cent. Much appreciated, 2 Cent. Appreciate you. Really, really appreciate you. Thank you for being a channel member, 2 Cent. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. We're going to see as many channel members as possibly can every day. All things. What's that? All things. Yeah. So look, do you remember when they were saying that Gervonta Davis was going to retire, and how Gervonta Davis doesn't have any more fights? He doesn't. No fights of his are any good. Did you see the Tank car wreck? What? Tank had a car wreck? 2 Cent, Tank had a car wreck? I did not hear that Gervonta Davis had a car wreck. No. Please tell me that Gervonta Davis did not have a car wreck, bro. Please tell me Gervonta Davis did not have a car wreck. If it's true, can you believe he got in a wreck? It's pictures are going around of him in the car wreck. Did he get hurt? Oh man, hey bro, look, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he was in a car wreck. No, it would not. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he was in a car wreck, because that's what these guys do. That's what they're doing. David Lynch is a channel member. Thank you, brother. Oh, I wouldn't doubt at all he's in a car wreck. I would not doubt at all. But does anybody from Baltimore know if it's true that Gervonta Davis was in a car wreck? And if he was in a car wreck, they saying he got a wreck after the Roach fight. Nobody knows the details yet. The Picks hasn't been confirmed. Oh, after the Roach fight? He got in a car wreck after the Roach fight? Oh, okay. I don't know. But yeah, it makes perfect sense that he'd be in a car wreck. It makes perfect sense because they set people up for that shit, man. Look, look. Yes, it makes absolute sense that he would be in a car wreck. And then after he gets in a car wreck, he's not able to have a fight and they put him up. Absolutely, it makes sense that would happen because of the scumbags that I be talking about every day. Yes, absolutely. These guys are setup kids. They set people up. Yeah, man. It's disappointing, but absolutely positively, yes. They'll drive somebody at your car and put you in a car wreck. Yes. Yeah, they will. They'll run somebody into your car. Yes. There was a point in time. There was a point in time where Errol Spence couldn't walk out the house without somebody riding something into his car. All right. So look, bro, you know what kind of scumbags I'm talking about every day, bro. So if you got in a car wreck, obviously it's not fucking with him too bad. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all if somebody was trying to hurt him and run into him, hurt his leg, hurt his back, do something so he can't fight. Absolutely, I wouldn't put it past anybody to run a car into these guys. That's why you shouldn't have. That's what happened with Anthony Joshua. I don't care what you say. Them niggas flipped Anthony Joshua. They got Anthony Joshua's ass about to fight Tyson Fury again. That's how much they got Anthony Joshua. They own Anthony Joshua so much that Anthony Joshua has to get back in that ring and fight, despite the fact that his two friends got killed. Hunter Young said, I just Googled it, can't find anything within the last year. Thank you. But look, if you are anti-Turki Alalshiekh, if you're anti-fake media, you can believe that some shit in your life is going to go sideways. If you speak out against Israel, for example, you can believe some shit in your life is going to start going wrong. People are going to start Googling you, looking for you, trying to find ways to shut you down because that's what they do. It's the same thing with these people that are in boxing. If you don't work with their program and their big worldview of how everything should go, they're going to try to cause chaos in your life, injure you, hurt you, and try to put you out so they don't have, because they can't deal with you in the equation. They want to take you out of the equation, without a doubt, because that's why these guys believe in this mathematic crap where they can predict everything and they don't like any variables. So if they see anything that doesn't work the way they want to work, they try to prune it, get rid of it. And then they'll put in somebody else that is more willing to do exactly what it is they want them to do. And if they get out of step, they're going to replace them too. I know who these people are, man. And I know how they think for sure. They have no love in their heart. No love in their heart. Only manipulation. Matter of fact, the idea of love was sold by them as a spell to make people sympathetic towards them. They use all kind of emotions to make you feel sorry for them. They have no heart whatsoever. They have no love in their heart whatsoever. But trust me, they will push every emotional button of yours that they can push because they think you're emotional. So that's all they do. They'll push at your emotions. They'll make you love them. Then they'll make you. Then if they can't manipulate you by being nice to you, then they'll try to attack you. And then if they can't attack you, then they'll gaslight you. But that's what they are. You know what I mean? That's what they are. Again, David Lynch, thank y'all for being a channel member, man. We on the channel member drive, bro. Thank y'all so much for that support. It really makes a huge difference. Ray Patterson. Anyway, so yeah, man, though, don't you find it interesting that these guys were doing reports on Gervonta Davis retiring? He's not going to fight. This fight's not good enough. That fight's not good enough. The whole time, the whole world of boxing gets shifted onto Turki Alalshiekh is the future of boxing. Turki Alalshiekh is the face of boxing. Turki Alalshiekh is the reason we can have these fights. All praise Turki Alalshiekh. All praise Turki Alalshiekh. And now, all of that, you guys don't hear a peep out of these people talking about it. Don't you find it interesting that these people are not talking about this? That you don't hear anything about it? Nothing? Nothing? Like, not a word? All of these people were experts on the funding of Saudi Arabia, oil, the PIF, how the money and how much money was going to be spent in boxing. That whole group of people knew the difference in why you should call them your excellency. I remember talking to Claymore Rain, and Claymore Rain was so well and astutely aware of Saudi Arabian politics that he knew that the proper title for Turki Alalshiekh was Your Excellency. But yet y'all can't figure out what's the effect of them not being able to sell any oil and being under physical and military duress. You can't figure that out? You don't got nothing to say about that? All silent? Can anybody say M-O-S-S-A-D? Let's spell it together, folks. M-O-S-S-A-D. Let's spell it. Oh, they ain't got nothing to say. They got nothing to say. Let's spell it. M-O-S-S-A-D. Oh, yeah, you are. You guys are intelligence agents. Comeback protocol. With another new member. Man, let's get the applause for the new members. Friends turn to enemies quickly. Yeah, right when they're told to. That's what double agents do. Look, that's who switches like a light switch on people. Double agents. Yeah, they do. So anyway, let's spell it together. M-O-S-S-A-D. Yeah, you are. You guys are in bed with M-O-S-S-A-D. Yeah, you are. And that's who's providing you all your information. That's the people that are covering for you for the access to the hedge funds and the royal funds, and I have control all the financing and control all the messaging. Yeah. Yeah, you think Saudi military is investing that much money and it's not an intelligence operation? Oh, I think it's an intelligence. I think it's an intelligence operation. I absolutely believe it's an intelligence operation. D. Cuervo said, with Turkey exiting boxing soon, I'm getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. Him getting inducted into the Hall of Fame looks like even more of a joke. Applause, applause. Hold on, man. I shouldn't have got rid of you. Ibrahim Torah. Man, you're funny, bro. You're funny. Anyway, man, like I said, dog, remember when I told you guys you shouldn't allow these guys in your locker rooms? Do you remember when I told you guys that these guys you shouldn't borrow money for these guys? Do you remember when I told you should not have these guys around you or trust these guys? Well, that's because they are literally double agents. Literally, these guys are in bed being brought in and paid for by a foreign government and admittedly doing it. And now when that foreign government does not have the capability of, they get in a situation like they're in, these people can't say anything. They can't mention it this way. They can't mention it that way. It's a complete blacklist on anything about it coming out of their pie holes. Now, what organization can tell that many people with one message to immediately shut the fuck up? And they all shut up in unison. Guess what else they do? They also release the same messages, all in unison. They all get the same inside information, all in unison. They all deliver the same messages, all in unison. Oh, Omega. Roof. Dog, y'all are skull and bones tied up with M-O-S-S-A-D. M-O, crooked letter, A-D. M-O, crooked letter, A-D. M-O, crooked letter, A-D. When we was a little kid, you remember that song? M-I, crooked letter, I. Crooked letter, I. Humpback, I. Y'all remember that? M-I, Crooked letter I. Crooked letter I. Humpback I. M O crooked letter A D. Yeah, bro, y'all are journalists, huh? Y'all are journalists, huh? All of y'all on the same time with the same messages, with the same number of views on the same topics, always attacking the same people. No, you guys aren't involved in propaganda. But then when that propaganda leaks over into political, all of a sudden you shut the fuck up. Hell yeah. Hey, what up, Barbara D? Shout out to the beautiful Barbara D, the channel member. Please remind me to hit my gong whenever I see a channel member. And we are in a green super chat, or if you can, please join the channel as a member. I'm really trying to move to members only if I can. Like, there are people that have enough members where they can have a members only chat, where I can have live streams that are members only. I just want to have members only. When I call a fight, dog, I want to call that shit with members only. I don't want M-O crooked letter A-D up in here sliming away, bro. Hey, dog. Anyway, so now that we know why you guys are all snitches and government informants, why you guys can get all kind of documents on people that nobody else can get. Have you ever noticed how good these people are at getting videotapes and information on people? Have you ever noticed how well these guys are at knowing exactly what other people are doing? Have you ever wondered why they are able to get certain information and they're not able to get other certain information? Because they're washing money for the M-O crooked letter A-D. M-O crooked letter A-D. You're washing money for them. Yes, you are. You're washing money for them. Yes, you are. They so tapped in. It's crazy, ain't it? It's like any information or anybody you want to get to, they can find the phone number. They can get them on the phone. It's amazing the influence these guys have, bro. They can all get these interviews. They all got plenty money to do this job, even though you have no idea how they can possibly be spending all this money in the lead into them getting paid. They get 6,000 concurrent viewers in the middle of the fucking afternoon trying to where does this shit come from, bro? M-O crooked letter A-D is where that shit comes from. Okay? Just like your boy Epstein. Okay? It's the same thing. Same thing, different scam. You get the money from the same place. Now, let's get back to what you're going to do now that your little scarecrow is gone. Who's the next one? Who's the next guy that is going to want to burn money for you? Who's the next shell? What shell are you going to put this underneath now? I'm very interested to know, because they got to show their face. Who's going to be the miracle person to pop out the woodwork to immediately be able to give you all this money? Is it going to be somebody from Africa? Is it going to be somebody from China? Is it going to be somebody from South Africa? Who's it going to be? Who's going to be your convenient tool that you use? Martin, thanks for the old school laughs. Yeah, yes, Barbara. He made so much money. Like, serious. M-O crooked letter A-D. That's what y'all are, bro. And let's not act. And then they take that money and they pay it off to other groups. Yes, they do. And they provide the information systems network. They provide the bots. They provide the access to the different agencies, to the different agents that give you that hire the actors, that come on in and do the job that they're paid to do because they're actors. You know how you guys work with Hollywood to hire actors in real life to surround people. Like, you know how they bus in, like if they have an event that they want to act like it's this really big political event, they'll bus in all of these people and pay all these guys to show up and cheer. That's the same thing they do in boxing. They pay people to show up to your live stream and cheer. And that's who they are. they are double agents. And I mean literally, because we are dealing with the Saudi military. At least that's what they say. But again, Saudi Arabia and Israel, they're on the same side of the street over there. At least they were on the same side of the street over there. So who has the better political contacts in the United States? Saudi Arabia or Israel? Well, clearly Israel. So you guys partner with these guys out of New York and New Jersey and Princeton. We know where you're at, Philadelphia, the East Coast. Yeah. We know the deal, bro. It's all in. Look, man, I got security access. I'm going to tell you. I got access, homie. I got access to the information. I got access. You may not get the same documents that I get. We don't know. You may not know that I was informed that Saudi Arabia was shipping out, that they had prepared for the war and that they had moved a lot of oil to the Red Sea, to the coast of the Red Sea. And they were pumping out oil through the Red Sea straight through down by where those Houthis were. And then I told you that the Houthis were going to cut that off. Well, guess what happened last night? The Houthis said that they're joining the war and they're going to stop Saudi Arabia from moving any oil through the Red Sea. See, we have connections too. See, we have as many connections in your country as you. We have more connections in your country than you have in ours. It works both ways. We can make things happen in Israel. We can make things happen in Saudi Arabia. We can make things happen in Iran. But anyway, don't worry about that. That's all make-believe. Don't worry. All of those guys that now have nothing to say about the fact that there's a war going over there that they said had unlimited funds, despite that they have nothing to say about it and they were calling me crazy before, all of a sudden they don't have nothing to say. I do think you guys are getting on your feed all over the place that the U.S. Army base, that the U.S. military base in Saudi Arabia doesn't work anymore. That it doesn't work anymore. The U.S. soldiers ain't going to be there in a couple years. These guys are trying to push the U.S. all the way out of the region over this. Good luck. And guess what? The Israel, guess what? The Israel, hey, I'm doing, brother. How you doing, Anthony Mitchell? Guess what? The Israel First Project, the Israel Greater Israel Project, it includes Saudi Arabia. You guys are on the Israeli project, bro. So you guys playing around, I'm telling you what happened to you. You guys playing around with the wrong dude allowed the other aspect of the Israeli lobby to get control over the moderates. That's what happened. Basically, what you guys did was, and you guys can believe, no, I'm not, you already know I know. So let me tell you from the inside, elite point of view. Let me give you the elite point of view, right? Let me give you the elite point of view. You have Saudi Arabia that was playing around and getting too froggy in the United States. Yeah, it was. It was getting too froggy. Trying to buy up shit, trying to do too much. And they got into the business of stealing these people's money. Well, they don't realize that these people are connected to both sides. They've got connections in the Mossad, very deep connections in the Mossad. Shout out to the Mossad. I mean, we got connections in the Mossad. Shout out to the Mossad. I ain't got no problems with the Mossad. Keep on bugging me. I ain't got no problems with the Mossad. Shout out to the Mossad. However, I know you're working with them without a doubt. So what happened was you went nuts on people that were cool with the Mossad too. So, but you brought in Saudi Arabian money. You brought in the Saudi Arabian influence. These people are saying, oh no, you're stealing my money. Fuck that. And they shifted power over to people that want to take over Saudi Arabia. And then what happened? All that shit started flying over there. And now Saudi Arabia is fucked. That's what happened. In a nutshell. Now, that's my point of view. You guys can go read ABC News. You can go read CNN. You can go listen to all of these bloggers and everybody tell you, oh, it's this, it's that, and the other thing. That's not how I see it. the way that I see it is that there were some people in Saudi Arabia that were brought in on a scam. They jumped in on the scam. They started taking advantage of the scam. And the scam, the guy that you were running a scam in, is extraordinarily powerful. And he said, fuck y'all. And he shifted power over to the nut jobs that want to take over your country. So the nut jobs that want to take over your country and the nut jobs that want you out of the United States did that. Now you're fucked. So now Saudi Arabia and Israel can't even be friends. They can't be friends ever. Why? Because the only reasons that Saudi Arabia was cool is because the United States is backing them up militarily. So now that the United States lit that whole place on fire and they removed their embassies, they evacuated their embassies and their military bases were blown up or rendered non-functional. It seems like you guys overplayed your hand. You guys are playing a world chess game and you overplayed your hand. And you can't get out of it. So Turki Alalshiekh is not coming back. If Turki Alalshiekh puts on a fight, it's because these people are putting on the fight. It's not going to be because Mohammed bin Salman is doing it. Exactly. Rothschild style, financing both sides of the conflict. You better believe it. You're fucking around with the people that finance both sides. So when you attack the people that represent both sides, then guess what? They can turn either side against each other, or they can attack both sides. And matter of fact, they can be very selective and they can attack the people that they want on both sides. So since you guys play both sides of the fence, dude, I know full well that there are people in Iran and people in Israel and people in the United States that are all on the same side. So these people can go and get your people, whether they're in Iran, Saudi Arabia, EAU, Qatar, Texas. I told you it doesn't matter where you are. These people can come get you because they're the reason you have anything. I know how the world works. So anyway, I want to know, where is Turki Alalshiekh? Where's Turki Alalshiekh? And by the way, Benjamin Netanyahu is most likely not alive. Let's also tell you that man that you guys were fucking with from Philadelphia is more than likely no longer alive. So your plug is gone. It's like Victor Conte on steroids almost. You know what I mean? It's like Victor Conte on steroids. That shit is never going to end when it's announced that Mr. Netanyahu is no longer alive. Somebody said Turkey was in plain clothes. Yeah, you got to get rid of them head wraps. Oh, let me read these two super chats. Man, I need to get the channel members, bro. I'm going to be raised. Hey, man, thank y'all for the money and the support. I really need the support. I said, oh, yes, it is. Sky Miller in the building. Shout out to you, brother, and Fred Johnson in the building. Thank you, brother. And my guys, Jamar Skywalker says, salute for 9 in the chat. Bye-bye, Turkey. Yes, sir. You sent 2 of these, bro. I don't know if you intended to send 2 or not, but shout out to you, bro. It came through twice. Thank you, brother. Jamar Skywalker in the building. Yeah, bro. He said, head of counterterrorism chef resigned, saying there was no let me tell you, because there was no threat to the United States. Dog, there was no threat to the United States, but there was a threat to this person. Look, I'm telling you, it makes sense. There was no threat, no military threat to the United States. That doesn't mean there was no threat to the United States. There was a cultural threat to the United States. Absolutely. You guys are out here buying up U.S. media. You guys are out here scamming and stealing from very wealthy U.S. citizens and funding basically insurgencies all over the fucking place off this guy's dime. Yes, there was something in it. You guys got so bold with it that you're doing it in everybody's face in boxing. Oh, there was somebody there's absolutely a reason for this. Anybody tells you that there's no reason for something happening, bro, bullshit. Nobody is spending billions and billions of dollars fucking up the Middle East economy for nothing. Nobody is bombing and doing all this stupid shit and fucking up the U.S. economy for no reason. You just have to figure out what reason do they have. And it's people who don't care about the economy. We good for the channel. Thank you, Jamahari. Thank you, brother. And you're a channel member, bro. Thank you, bro. No, seriously, man. I want to tell y'all, man. Why do you think they were attacking me so bad? I'm not a political channel, but every once in a while I'll talk about politics. Every once in a while I'll talk about politics. And these guys were over here on this channel every day trying to sell Mohammed bin Salman as the most powerful man in the world. And I'm telling you, I took it as a personal insult every time you said it. I'm not going to lie, bro. See, me, I'm delusional. Y'all know me. I'm delusional. And whenever you guys used to come up here telling me how powerful Mohammed bin Salman was, every time you said it, I'm like, he's not that fucking powerful. Stop that shit. He's out there. No, but Russia and the United States, and they all agree to go to Riyadh for these accords and the peace accords. And I said, I don't give a shit. You may be connected. You may have some influence, but you're not powerful. That's what I told you, isn't it? Now what? See, you guys confuse influence with power. No, the people that just did this shit to y'all have power. They're not interested in influencing you. You're good. They already got the people to make it happen. They're not trying to influence you. They're not trying to make friends and influence you. That's not what the military does. When you fuck with the military, bro, there's going to be a military response. That's just what it is. And you guys were fucking with the military. Let's be very, very real. You guys are fucking with the military. You guys are out here fucking with the U.S. military. You've been doing it for years. You guys been playing games with the military, like let's keep them occupied over here. Let's make them do this. Nah, bro, the gig is up. We're not wasting any more money on your protection. So what do? They just made sure we're going to get to the end result. And the end result is not going to be what you wanted the end result to be. Because there is no more Tel Aviv. Dude, Tel Aviv is done. They're going to put Tel Aviv into the dark ages. Seriously, man. They're going to put Israel into the dark ages. Going to send it to the dark ages. No electricity. No salinization plants. Matter of fact, do you know what their next move is going to be? What up, Dapper? Hey, I took my Corvette out of storage yesterday and it's snowing today. What up, Dapper Douglas? Shout out to my man, Dapper Douglas. So anyway, yeah, man, I want to know where y'all at. Damn. All I was hearing now how Turkey was saving boxing. Yeah, how did he save boxing? How did he save boxing? You guys don't want to give credit to the person that was saving boxing. Let me tell you what it really is. There's a guy that was saving boxing, without a doubt, because he was funding the whole fucking thing. And what you did was you decided to steal his money and then spend the money however you wanted to spend it. That's what you did. So boxing was going very, very well. People could sell pay-per-views because people were buying pay-per-views. And then you fucked this guy over because you guys figure there's one man should not have all that power. That's what you did. So you guys, without his knowledge, broke up his power into multiple people, and then they started going out and making deals all over the place. And eventually they figured it out, and it is so deep-rooted that you all got fired, and now none of your operations work. You're not going to get any of the equipment that you thought you bought because they shut off the Straits of Hormuz. You're not going to get the oil that you thought you bought because they cut off the Red Sea. That's the military, man. And when politicians start fucking around with the military, no. You cannot co-opt the U.S. military. You can't. Nope. You can't. Not against this guy anyway. You can't. And you know why you can't. That's a national secret, though. I won't tell you why they can't co-opt the military. But they can't co-opt the military. So all of the little bullshit that you guys do with with all your intelligence agencies and your dog, when somebody puts a brigade on you, when they put a brigade on you, bro, that's your ass. And you guys were fucking around with people that have control over the military, literally control over it, and not the U.S. military, their own military. They have their own missiles. And I told you that. There are individuals, and I told you that before they started lighting them off. There are individuals that have their own capability to light off missiles on you. And they have the absolute best technology that there is. And they can move their technology wherever they want with nobody getting in their way. You better believe it. They can go wherever they want with their stuff to any country they want, and nobody ever gets in their fucking way. Thank you very much. So you guys wanted to steal their money. You did. You wanted to steal their money. And you thought it was so much money nobody could ever catch you. But then you tried to take over. You fuck with that nigga. You fuck with that dude. But that's all right. Hey, man. What's up, man? Shout out to my guy, 10 to God. Thank you, man. So let's get to Terence, Crawford, and Claressa Sheilds. Claressa Sheilds needs to, Claressa Sheilds needs to shut up. Oh, we got a new member, bro. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, man, look. You guys don't know this, but this is the truth. Whenever a U.S. corporation goes and does business in a country, say they own a factory, they own any amount of money, any amount of thing in that country that they have, guess what they bring with them? They bring their own private militia. They bring their own private militia. Their private militias have missiles. Okay? The private militias have missiles. They absolutely can light off on you. Private militias. Just like Epstein can own his own private island, other people own their own private islands. And do you know what they put on their private islands? They put missiles on their private islands. Do you know what else they put above their private islands? They put satellites above their private islands. Do you know what they can do because they have this money? They have as many satellites as the U.S. has satellites. And in fact, many of the satellites that they own are really just leased to the United States. They lease their satellites to other companies so they can access their satellite data. But they are the ones that actually own the satellites. They're the ones that launch the satellites. They're the ones that charge for the use of the satellites. And they have satellites that are much better than the satellites that the U.S. government has. So you can't hide from them anywhere you are. They have their own private militias. So very good luck kidnapping them. Very good luck walking up next to them and trying to con them out of money, bro. So like I told you, that's connected to the other mechanism that I explained, which is that they keep 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of books. Well, guess who found all the books? We found all the books. All 6. Is it 6? It's 6. All 6 different sets of books that you guys keep based off one man's account that you have to balance between 6 other accounts. I know the number of accounts. One person's account split in between 6 other people. And then out it goes from there. Yep. So anyway, while y'all Negroes are stuck over there in Dubai, because I know you're still stuck there, let me talk to the people that are stuck in Dubai and can't get back from Dubai. Let's talk to the people that are over there in Saudi Arabia that cannot get back from Saudi Arabia. Let's talk about the Saudi Arabians that are in the United States in custody that cannot get, nor will they ever get, back to Saudi Arabia. Let's also talk about, the Jamaicans that will never get back to Jamaica either. And they will never get back to Africa. They will never get back to the UK. They won't ever get back. Why? Because these people know all of your information systems because it passes through their satellites. Yes, your information systems that you think are so secure are built on an infrastructure that they own. And everything that passes that goes to that. Exactly. ICE. Oh, we don't even want to get on ICE and the selective incarceration that ICE is. But anyway, Claressa on the wrong side. Come home, RZA. Nah, Claressa a dude. Claressa wants to be a dude, and she's playing Papoose like a punk. And I'm sorry, bro. If Papoose sticks with her, bro, nah. Hey, dog, Claressa Sheilds got a side dude sitting there in the middle of all her girls. Whole room of girls. They're kicking it, and she got her side dude sitting there holding the camera. Suckering. That's what's wrong with Claressa Sheilds, bro. Claressa acts like Claressa wants to be a man. So she's running dudes, They finna come for you talking about Claressa, man. Let me tell you something, dog. They are never coming at me again. They will never come at me again. Pap Finester, hey, are they married? Is he getting half? Hey, is he are they married yet? Did they get married? If they get married, that nigga gonna wind up getting half. Because, dog, she gonna cheat on him, bro. Without a doubt, she gonna cheat on him. She gonna cheat on him for sure. She don't look like no man. Clear to Tawanda. Why Tawanda? Shout out to Tawanda. Shout out to my girl Tawanda, man. I ain't seen Tawanda in a long time. I am gonna kick you out of here, Tawanda, though. You know what I mean? Because I know what you're doing when you throw that name out there. I'm not interested in all that shit. I don't fuck with you either. I don't fuck with you either. And I don't care if I smile in your face and shake your hand. I don't fuck with y'all. Pap's her manager? Okay. Yeah, Pap putting him up to it. Pap hasn't divorced his current wife, right? Oh, man. Oh, that's what's up. That's deep. You only getting half. I'm trying to tell you, he about to take half from your ass. And as a manager, you can probably take more. But anyway, these dudes think they're in the mafia. Little pissant niggas. Do you understand now why I call you a piss on? Do you understand now why Dana White said that all you guys in boxing are a bunch of rinky-dink ass people? Bro, you guys are rinky-dink. Playing around. You know what y'all are? Y'all are a bunch of fucking janitors that got caught playing around in the CEO's office, spinning around, turning on his computer, spinning around in a chair, and the CEO shows up in the morning and tries to tell you to get out of the office, and y'all clowns won't get out of the office. Every time he walks out, y'all jump in there trying to make decisions. I'm really the boss. Boy, y'all in trouble. Man, that's what they are. They're fucking janitors. They're in the company, but their job is to mop the floors and keep everything clean. Now, look, if you don't have janitors in a building, what's going to happen? No, seriously, I don't say janitor as an insult. But look, if you don't have janitors, think about janitors. If you don't have janitors, what happens to your building? Your building becomes rat infested. It becomes rat infested when the janitors don't do their job. It becomes rat infested. Right? You got all kind of, you can't work if you don't have janitors. So these guys are all janitors. But some middle manager told the janitors to stop cleaning that building and told them to go play around in the CEO's office and pay them side money not to clean. So the CEO thinks he's paying janitors to keep the building clean, but what he really has is some motherfuckers playing around in his office, impersonating them, sending about a bunch of emails and not cleaning anything. And over time, the building got filled with rats, roaches, and everything else. So anytime you go in the building, it's a bunch of rats and roaches everywhere. Why? Because the janitors didn't do their job. Because some idiot that wanted to run the company decided that they weren't important and started to bribe them not to do their job. So the whole place gets junky. He gets to say, oh, look at this guy's doing, and then try to kick him out of his job. Meanwhile, he hired a bunch of janitors that don't know how to clean. So now now he's the head, and he has a bunch of janitors telling him what to do, and a bunch of janitors that refuse to clean anything. Because those guys should have never been in the positions they were in. You only put them in those positions so that they could help you get the job you wanted. And how did they get the job? By not doing what they were supposed to do. You pay people to not do their jobs. You discredit them. You prevent them from doing their job so the business will have problems so that you can then justify your position in the building. That's what you do. You guys are a bunch of janitors that let a bunch of rats in. That's what you are. You're a bunch of janitors. Your job is to clean. It's a very important job. You have to clean every room every few days. You have to check out the garbage. You have to. You have to make sure that the garbage, when you put it away, you have to make sure that it's put into certain processes so that the information doesn't leak out. Right? Aren't the janitors also responsible for connecting all of the sensitive information that may be in garbage cans, that may be in people's desks, and making sure that nobody has access to that by disposing of that information properly? You guys aren't even disposing of the information properly. You're a terrible, terrible manager, man. You're terrible at your job because you are so busy focused on getting your way that you refuse to put the right people in the right jobs because they won't do what you tell them to do. You're not supposed to be a CEO. You're supposed to be a janitor. That's your mentality. You're supposed to go out and clean. You're very good at cleaning. Go clean. Make sure that every bathroom and all the information is kept in the way it's supposed to be kept. Your job as a janitor and the head of sanitation is a very important job. Do your job. Stop trying to be the CEO and trying to do the CEO's job. You're not built for that job. He's built for that job. You're not built for it. And the whole thing is getting fucked up and the building is coming down. The foundation of the very building itself is falling apart because you guys consistently put people in positions where their political connections get them there and not their actual ability. And it is a top-down problem. It is a top-down problem because you guys refuse to let the owner be the owner. You want the owner to sit outside of the company on his porch just doing nothing all day while you're the leaders and the person. No, you're not built for that. You can't make automated decisions because too many of them are going to be wrong. This man needs delegation for sure, but the people that are delegated need to do what their job is to do. The person that is delegated to a job needs to do that job. Don't do some other job. Don't use your current job to audition for another job and switch from job to job because you're trying to climb. Do your fucking job. You're a janitor, and that's not a bad thing. You guys have duties you're not doing because you don't like who the CEO is. You don't like who the boss is. So you're not going to let anybody listen to the boss. And you're going to do everything you do to get that boss out of that office so that you can move in and make all the decisions. Well, genius, you pushed the boss out of the office. You got the boss at his house, not paying attention. Good job. Well, you suck at your job, so the whole company is falling apart. Because you want your way. That's why you got fired. That's why you got fired. That's why you guys are not there. And that's why this stuff is happening. That's why people are dying. That's why people are dying. Because you refuse to play your position. You're always looking for the next position. You won't do your job. You refuse to do your job because you don't agree with the person whose decision it is. So you refuse to execute. And that's why you guys are in so much trouble. And in terrible trouble to boot. You guys wanted a certain thing to take place in the Middle East. You fucked up and the whole thing is burning. Yes, it is. You fucked up something and now the whole Middle East is burning because you're an idiot. Why? Because the guy came home, and I'm going to give you another metaphor. The boss came home, went into the office, said, I'm sick of sitting at home. I want to go into the office. So when he goes into the office, you barricade the door to prevent him to get into the office. So he brings somebody with a key to open the door. He comes in the door, and then you shut down the elevator and say the elevator's not working, so he won't. Then he walks up the stairs. He walks up 30 flights of stairs. Then he gets to the door, 30 flights, and that door is locked. So he has to kick that door down, and he walks through that door, and then he goes to an office full of janitors, and then he goes into his office, and he sees you sitting there. And he wants to know, why the fuck is there a bunch of janitors on the first floor? What happened to the guy that was the CEO of this? What happened to the guy that was the CEO of that? What happened to Al Heyman? What happened? Oh, I'm sorry, we had to fire him because he wasn't. Oh, I'm sorry, we had to fire him. We had to fire. So you fired everybody. You brought in a bunch of janitors. You made it impossible for me to get into the office. And now when I say get out, you want to split it 50-50 and say, hey, how about we share duties? No. So what do you do when the guy leaves? You try to kill him. You try to have the janitors attack him so that he can't make it out. And he whoops all the janitors' asses. And he leaves. And guess what happens? You go broke. And then he starts another business and you want to do the same thing again. Yeah, dog. You're a bunch of fucking janitors. Take your ass back to work. Do the job you're supposed to do. You're not suited to be a CEO. You're not. You're suited to be a janitor where you have an object that you can do every day. Where you can go downstairs and you can say, hey, janitors, are all the rooms, 562 rooms cleaned? Yes. How many employees do you have to clean those rooms? We've got 32. Okay, so how many employees is it going to take to clean 500 rooms 3 times a week? What's the schedule going to be to run these guys on? Who's going to be the contractors that we do business with? What's the rate we're going to pay them? And guess what? You're making $1 million a year coordinating all of these things. And those jobs all get done. You're of benefit to the corporation. But not when you try to take over the company with a bunch of, not when you try to take over the company with a bunch of janitors. And I'm talking to specific people here. So anyway, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Let me tell you what the fuck this guy is talking about. You guys that have contracts with Turki, Alalshiekh, Ring, and DAZN, you better believe that the trend that was just shown with Top Rank is going to continue. Top Rank just got a big deal with DAZN, right? Wrong. They got $1 million a card. Do you know what Top Rank thinks about that $1 million a card? They think that that is a wonderful situation because they're not going to get, because they get to keep that money. Yes, they get to keep that money. $1 million for 9 cards. That seems to me something that is a reasonable contract with DAZN, with a stacked stable and an opportunity to see fights where they can actually generate money. Right? They're not, DAZN actually has a contract with Top Rank where Top Rank can actually earn them money. Meanwhile, they have contracts with Matchroom where they cannot do anything but lose money. Do you see the trend? Do you see the trend? The trend is going to go away from you guys being able to recklessly spend money on any project that you want. So Bill Haney and Devin Haney are going to not be rewarded for being fucking clowns on the internet. They're only going to get paid for fighting. Let me restate that. So now what we see going on in boxing, Devin is not going to get ridiculous amounts of money for being nothing but a fucking jabberjaw and his daddy doing nothing but starting a bunch of bullshit. They're not going to get paid for their over-the-air antics anymore. Because truth of the matter is, I think most of Bill Haney and Devin Haney's money probably comes from being fucking trolls and convincing other fighters to sign with Eddie Hearn and selling other fighters down the river. Hence his net profit deal. That's why Devin gets paid a net profit. Devin gets paid a net profit because he doesn't make most of his money in the fight. He makes most of his money in the cost associated with the fight. So first thing is Devin's going to have to earn a real paycheck. Daddy's not going to be able to get him an elevated purse because he's connected. You know why? Because Bill's a fucking janitor. He has no business in the office. None. Just like when they wrote that contract, these dudes are in the office writing contracts for Gary Russell Jr. Contracts. They're literally writing contracts and handing them over to fighters. And Gary Russell Jr.'s contract is proof of it. You guys, and then what does Eddie Hearn want to do? Eddie Hearn, now that his money runs out, can anybody tell me what Eddie Hearn's new job is? Eddie Hearn wants to be a manager. Eddie Hearn wants to be a manager. Why does he want to be a manager? So he can manage the money. Because the fighter is going to get the money, so he wants to be connected to the fighter. Even more closely connected to the fighter. So that the fighter to get paid, he gets paid if the fighter gets paid. Instead of sitting where he was, as the son of a minor mafia boss. And let me tell you what you niggas really are. You're the sons of minor mafia bosses. And what a minor mafia boss is a janitor. It's their job to clean things up and fix them. You guys are utility workers. Your job is to clean things up and fix them. That does not make your son a king. I don't know who the fuck lied to you clowns. I don't know who the fuck lied to you clowns. You guys are soldiers in the street. If you're in a corporation, the soldier is the janitor. From the janitor, you go up to like systems A. From the janitor, you go to different things that are working with what? The actual physical building. Inside that building, you have a bunch of separate businesses. And then the soldiers for the businesses are the ground workers, the knowledge workers on the ground. Okay, so corporate America, brother, once you get out of the custodial aspect of a building, which is vital to everybody, by the way, which is why I'm telling you, you're janitors. That doesn't mean you're not important. You're cleaners. You're fixers for the organization. You're very important, and you should be paid well, and you should have a career, and I'm okay with that. But you are not the owner. You are not the owner, and you have no business speaking to the owner in the building in a disrespectful fashion. You're not. You guys are janitors. The owner of the building is walking in, and you're locking doors and telling the owner he can't come in. Oh, I'm sorry, owner. I know you're the owner, but you can't come in. Why? The manager said the building is locked. You guys are literally taking order from a middle manager, stopping the owner from getting in. And you don't think he's going to fire every single solitary one of you? Then you try to accost the man. I'm not speaking in code. I'm talking about what happened in the boxing world. These boxing YouTube channels threaten the life of the guy that's responsible for all the money that's coming into boxing. And them penny-ante little piss ants were threatening this guy's life, preventing this guy's from growing a reputation in the sport, slandering him along with a bunch of senior vice presidents because they want to get in with the senior vice president. Because the senior vice president says, hey, if you fuck over this guy that walks in, he's going to be wearing a hoodie, right? He's going to be wearing a hoodie, and you see him walk in, hey, I'll give you a raise if you don't let that guy in the building. Or if he comes in the building, call security because, I got some information about him. So the owner comes to the building and you call security on him. You literally call security on him. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm the owner of the building. No, I'm sorry. It doesn't. All I know is the manager said you can't come on the property. So, if you come back again, they're going to put you on, what do you call it? Trespass. Dude, look at this. Sam, let me tell you. Siam one chucked. Bro, you're just not in the conversation, bro. So if I see you and you don't have a wrench and you're not a member, I'm throwing your ass out, bro. Like you're gone. All right? So if you do not have a wrench, don't say nothing. If you don't have a wrench and I don't recognize you, don't say nothing. Because I'm not interested in you little peon ass niggas no more. I'm not interested in you peons. I know that you know what I'm saying is true. You're trying to confuse people as to what the role of everybody is in boxing. And you think that these guys are the ones with all the power. And they gave you access to money and gave you a job and bribed you not to do your job. They bribed you and got you jobs in the company. Yes, they did. That's why every time you come to this channel, somebody miraculously gets a YouTube channel funded. Don't they? Don't you? Every time you come to my channel and I get friendly with you, do you or do you not get a funded YouTube channel with the exception of 2 Cent, who gets threatened? No, if you hate on me, you get a functional YouTube channel in exchange. You're brought into the company. They are literally bringing you into the company because you've proven that you're disloyal. The reason you've gotten anything is because you've proven that you're disloyal and you've proven that you're dishonest. So therefore, they're going to let you get employed. Anybody that proves that they're loyal, anybody proves that they're honest, is going to get fired, slandered, and put to the side. Yes, they are. Yes, we've seen it on this channel. So that's why I'm telling you, Turki Alalshiekh, bro, announce your retirement sooner than later, bro. Because it's better for Turki Alalshiekh to announce that he's not doing any more fights, and why, than it is for him not to be able to do it at all. Really. Because, dog, if they can get rid of Bibi Netanyahu, bro, they can get rid of you. And do you know how they got Bibi Netanyahu? Let me tell you how they got Bibi Netanyahu. Oh, we got 2 new members. Thank you, brother. Latrell Smith, becomes a member. Thank you, brother. I am really trying to get these members up. And my guy on the money line becomes a member. Thank you, brother. Really trying to get that monthly membership up, bro. Thank y'all. Because that way I can stop putting ads in these live streams. And I really want to not do that anymore. So no, bro, let's be real. There was a succession plan put in place for the last king. And the king is dead, and your succession plan didn't work. It didn't work. You did everything that I described in order for you to get the guy that you wanted to be in control. And do you know why they wanted him there? Because he's incompetent. Yep. Because he's incompetent. Because he's so egotistical and he's so set on getting his way that all they have to do is just tell him that they're going to do what he says, then not do it, and go on about their business doing whatever they want to do. And then telling this guy that he's great. Because this guy knows he doesn't deserve the job, and he got the job. People believed he got the job because of his scandalousness, because of his ability to lie, cheat, and steal. Only problem is when you focus all your energy on learning how to lie, cheat, and steal, you never actually learn how to do the job. So you were a bad president. You're a bad CEO. You're not good at it. And the owner fired you. But you didn't want the owner in the building, so the owner could never fire you. Because you knew the owner wants to run it. The owner doesn't even want you to run it. The owner wants to run it himself. But you know what you do. You surround him with a lot of accusations, a lot of drama. Because all you want is his money. You don't want him. You just want his money. And you want the perception that he has given you agency to make decisions. And you'll waste any amount of money to keep up that facade, including bringing in Daniel Kinahan, including bringing in Turki Alalshiekh, and including bringing in David Ellison. Because you are always planning for the next guy that you can put out as a public face for your mechanisms. No, brother, you cannot have the numbers anymore, man. You're out. And I'm telling you, I'm speaking very high-level talk here. Very high-level talk. And you know very well what I'm talking about. Terence Crawford is fucked. Let's talk about Terence Crawford for a second. Terence Crawford thought he was going to get slick. And he was going to retire and wait for the price to go up. Terence Crawford fucked over Canelo Alvarez, did not agree to a rematch, set a date with a rematch in the United States and get that shit over with. Terence Crawford thought that he was going to be able to milk that shit out, get those guys to give him more money for his return bout in about a year and a half, 2 years. So he was going to get, but guess what happened now? That's not going to come to Terence Crawford. So if Terence Crawford really did get $10 million for Canelo Alvarez on the promise that if he won, he would get more, you're not going to get any more. And by the way, Terence, I know that you met with this guy personally. Let me also talk to Terence Crawford, who had a meeting with this guy personally. Before Terence Crawford ever got access to his hedge funds, he met this guy personally. Yes, he did. He met this man personally. He had conversations and did business arrangements with this guy personally. Yes, he did. And he was rewarded with what? Trust funds, hedge funds. Let me get this right, Terence Crawford, and I want you to know that I am talking to you, Terence. Right after you met with this guy, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, as soon as you met this guy and you gambled with this guy and you lost, Let's tell you what happened to Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford thinks he's a very good ping pong player. He is not. He got suckered out of a lot of money by a very dangerous guy. This is what I'm told. This is what I'm told. That he played ping pong with a very, 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 very wealthy and a very, very, very dangerous man. And they made a gentleman's bet. And Terence Crawford got suckered. Because Terence Crawford cannot beat that guy in table tennis to save his life. He's a professional table tennis player. He is. He's a professional level table tennis player. He's been playing table tennis at that level longer than Terence Crawford's been alive, and he mocked Terence. And they also made a deal. So I know full well, Terence, where all that money came from. Yes, I do, buddy. Terence, I know where all that money came from, Terence. I know who all that money came from. And guess what I'm going to do? I'll skip that guy's name and I'll go right to Barack. I'll go past him and I'll go to his political muscle, Barack. Because that's who Barack is. Barack is this guy's political muscle. That's all Barack is. Is this guy's. Yeah, they're going to do it now. Yeah, that's the. Please, Martin, don't talk too much. Please, Martin, don't talk too much. Okay, I won't talk too much no more. Other than what I'll say is, look, bro, Terence Crawford had a table tennis game with somebody. And after he had this table tennis in conversation with somebody, he miraculously got access to hedge funds that were willing to invest $20 million into a fight with Errol and $20 million, well, $40 million, 20 for Errol, 20 for Terence. And all of a sudden, somebody tried to buy the fight away from the PBC. This is facts. You can look it up. My guy supports the PBC. This guy bought the fight away from the PBC so that my guy wouldn't make any money. And he delayed the fight. And after he delayed the fight, he paid Terence at least $10 million for a fight in Nebraska in exchange for pausing the Terence Crawford Errol Spence fight. And why did he do that? To make this other guy look bad. To make it look like this guy wasn't as powerful or as smart as he is. Because he's playing little psych-op games with janitors. Let me again say, he's playing games with janitors. He comes down from the top floor and comes into your office and asks you to do a bunch of unethical shit in exchange for him giving you a raise. And then what does he do? He gives you a raise within the organization. And he has another friend of his give you a raise in the organization. So you owe all of your raises to him, even though you know full well that this guy over here is the owner. Because the owner didn't hire you, and the owner's not going to be the one that fires you. They all did. They moved the money. They moved boxing into a cost center because they want to destroy what this man is interested in. This man invested money in boxing, so boxing has to be invested in. But they're going to control where the money goes and who it gets paid for. This man has a project. This man won't let the man control it. Shout out to you, brother Benjamin Ramos. That's all it is. So guess what? Your boy got fired. Your boy's now a janitor. Just to let you know. Your guy, your senior guy that got you this access is now a janitor. He has now been demoted to a janitor. We're now not saying that, again, I gave you the speech about janitors. Janitors are important people. Very important people. But he was reminded that he is the senior vice president of sanitation. Your job is the senior executive officer of sanitation. Your job is to clean these offices. Your job is not to walk in the office, bug the office, bribe people in the office so that you can use your job as clean as head of sanitation, which again is a very, very important job, a huge job. Waste management as a company is a huge, okay? Waste management is huge. That's a big deal to be the head of sanitation. But that's your job. Your job does not fuck with this guy. You can't clean his house. You cannot use your ability to clean his house as a way to bribe people in his house. So anyway, you guys are fucked in a major way. And this boxing is directly connected to the war in the Middle East. I'm telling you it. I am telling you that the actions of Turki Alalshiekh in the United States in boxing is a direct cause, one of the direct causes for what's going on in the Middle East right now. And why all the U.S. allies are getting bombed, literally everybody in that division, everybody in that area is getting bombed. Everybody. But don't pay attention to who's at war with who. Just ask yourself, who's getting bombed? And the answer is everybody's getting bombed. Israel's getting bombed. Iran is getting bombed. Iraq got bombed. Kuwait got bombed. Qatar got bombed. They all got bombed. And whose sanitation department is getting removed from the Middle East? Because the military is in the sanitation department. It's responsible for cleaning up messes. Yes, it is. It is military, consider military part of the sanitation and the cleaning, right? Because they damn sure are cleaning up bodies. They're damn sure moving shit out of the way. They're damn sure putting things where they're supposed to be. They're organizing people having access. So what are they doing? They're bombing everybody. Everywhere that you are. And I'm also going to tell you this, because you guys don't have to like it or like. This guy's specific allies are being... The guys that are getting done are the specific allies of this guy. His specific allies are the ones that are being targeted. Everywhere. They don't care if his allies are in Tel Aviv. They don't care if your allies are in Syria. They don't care if your allies are in Serbia. They don't care if your allies are in Miami or wherever they are. Because again, they have satellites. You're not a billionaire. I didn't say I was a buy. I'm not even interested in you guys. So no, I'm laying it down for the people that know what's going on. So we can get to the point and we can get past this. You're all getting bombed. And it's all related to Turki Alalshiekh in his mouth. Yes, it is. Turki Alalshiekh is one of the janitors that was running his fucking mouth. And Turki Alalshiekh ran his fucking mouth to the wrong guy. And the wrong guy got very, very pissed and said, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this? Fire him. And these guys refused to fire him. Refused to fire him. Was just going to give him money and give him money and give him money no matter what. So guess what the guy did? He fired everybody above him. Yes, he did. You know why? Because when he tried to fire Turki Alalshiekh, they said, oh, you're not Turki Alalsheikh's manager. That's what they said. They said, that's not Turki Alalsheikh's manager. He can't fire him. So what did the guy do? He started firing from the top down. He said, I'm firing you. And after he fired you, then the other guy moved up. And then he fired the next one. And then he fired the next one, next one, next one, next one, next one. They fired him all the way till they got to you. And then they said, you're fired. Why? Because you're the one that said I couldn't fire him. Yep. He went when he was told he could not fire Turki Alalshiekh. He went to the head of human resources that said he couldn't fire him, that blocked the firing, and he fired her. And then when he found out the money was being paid, he went to the head of finance and fired her too. So that none of you guys have a job, so therefore, fuck y'all. And as a result, what happens? Janitors went back to the rooms that they were supposed to be in, and the janitors started cleaning house. Yes, they did. They started moving people's furniture out of their offices. And in my metaphor, what does that mean? It means you lost network access. It means you lost your intelligence agencies. Because when they cut off your information, they cut off the satellite for you. So now you don't got any more inside information because they cut you out and they put you out. They fired the systems people. Because this guy can fire anybody. And as soon as the head of human resources acted like let me tell you what they did, bro. And I appreciate y'all listening to me. Basically, they entrapped him by claiming that they were managers of him. They're his personal managers, and they manage everybody that works for him. So he fired them. But they refused to leave. They just squatted, and everybody acted like they still had a job. Because they were like, well, what can you do about it? Oh, what I can do about it is I can get all these, I'm going to hire a group of people to come into your house, and they're going to take everything out, and they're going to throw you out. Which is why you're stuck in Dubai. Yep, that's why your businesses in Dubai are all stuck. That's why all the money you moved over there is stuck. Hey, man, Ruben said, I can't lie. It would really make my day if some of these trolls came up and came in straight with their burner accounts. Dude, let me tell you something. Showbiz the Adult is never going to show his face on this channel. Because Showbiz the Adult doesn't own his own channel. So Showbiz is going to go off and do his own job, like I told you. Showbiz they were making up so much bullshit about Showbiz being a YouTube content creator that they made his numbers so big it was such an obvious lie that they had to move him on to Zone. They were told to move these guys. That's my understanding. So what did he do? Why was he having all those views? Anyway, hey, Fanon, boxing in UK sport now is like hip-hop is over with. No, they come here because they have to come here. Because the person that I'm talking to is listening. Because he doesn't have any respect for co-workers. Like, let me tell you, bro, you have no respect for your co-workers, brother. You have no respect for your co-workers. None. You only care about what you want, and their only answer that is correct is the one that you give. And you're going to force feed everybody your solution. And you wonder why your solutions don't work. That's because nobody is going to do the work. Nobody. And in fact, brother, you're going to get scammed because they are going to sell you a scam. Because the scam is going to be that I can fix your problem. And they know full well they can't. But they can suck your money dry and give you some hope. You know, like you guys always want to sell hope. You know what I mean? You guys always want to sell hope. So all these guys got to do to steal from you and manipulate you and fuck you over is sell you some hope. If you just steal some money and give it over here, this will solve all your problems. Yeah, man. You don't have the intestinal fortitude for the job you want. Because sometimes, man, what you want to be just isn't. You know, because you spend so much time blocking other people from getting what they want, that you know full well what they think is meant for them isn't meant for them. Why? Because you're going to interfere with it because it doesn't go with your plan. So when you have a plan, don't be surprised that the same energy comes for you and they block you because I know what you want, but you're never going to get it because you insist on having it done the way you want it done. But it will never work the way that you want it done. You're just not going to be able to dictate it. And because you don't understand certain things. What up, Cobra Head? Like, bro, for real, there was a guy that explained something to me, wanted to talk about chaos theory. Because chaos theory is mathematics. And mathematics means that because you're good at math, that means that you're very accurate. When really, chaos theory means that no matter how good you are mathematically, you're not going to be able to accurately predict the future in a reliable basis. And why is that? Because you don't know of the initial state of the thing that you're measuring. So you only know the current state of the thing that you're measuring. You don't know the precursors to the present state. You don't know all of those influences. Since you don't know all those influences, your estimations are always going to be off. But you look to mathematics to provide precision. So you clearly don't understand the purpose of mathematics is only to get there in generality. It's only a guide to get you close. And once you get close, it is wisdom that is going to point you to the absolute right movement. And that movement, that wisdom may present itself in the words of another person. But if you're not willing to value the other person and God's presence within that other person and that other person's ability to communicate things of value to you, then you're going to be blind to God in the room with you because you don't see God in another human being. You see the whole existence being nothing but a mathematical formula that can get you close enough to what you expect to happen. And ultimately, it's because you're afraid of death and you're afraid of things that you don't understand. You're intellectually afraid of the dark. So you try to manipulate everything into being exactly how you want it to be. Living in your mind is not a fun thing. It's not. Being introspective and connecting with people that have, neurodivergent thought processes is not always fun. What up, Cobra Heads? But I'm telling you right now, that's the problem right there in boxing. And it's the problem in the Middle East. And it's the problem in entertainment. And it's the problem that everybody is seeing. You guys you don't want to do your job. And this ambition that everybody is selling on you is always making you do decisions. Because if I'm making $1 million today, that's not good enough. I got to get 2. And if I have 2 million, that's not good enough. I got to get 10. And if I get 10 million, it's not good enough. I got to get 100, right? If I'm a janitor, that's not good enough. I got to be a business manager. And if I'm a business manager, that's not what I thought it was going to be. I got to be the vice president. And if I got to be the vice president, that's not where my happiness is not in vice president. I got to be the owner. I'm the owner and it's not happy. I got to be God. You're never going to find anything if you're never happy with where you are. And nobody else is going to be happy if you constantly push people out of their position so you can sit there. Do you understand that? You don't have the talent to do the job you're doing. You're only there because of your like Devin Haney. Devin, you're not that good a fighter, bro. You're not. If your father was not paying your way to have all of these coaches tell you exactly how to throw punches in every situation where they taught you how to think, dude, you would have got in there with somebody that is learning how to fight on their own and got your ass whooped. You might have never got to the top level if your daddy hadn't paid for you to get to the medium level. But yet you guys want to destroy Gervonta Davis because Gervonta Davis wasn't in your plan. Now let's talk about Gervonta Davis and how Gervonta Davis is not in their plan. Since Gervonta Davis is not in their plan, this maniacal asshole is going to do anything he can do to shut him down, including stopping his paydays, not allowing a venue to put on a fight, calling the state of Georgia and not allowing Gervonta to put a fight on in the state of Georgia. You don't think that I know you can call Barack and have Barack call somebody in the state of Georgia and stop that Gervonta Davis fight? Yes, that's how it happened. You use your political influence to stop Gervonta Davis from having a fight in Georgia. And then you use your political influence to make a big deal out of arrest in Miami about Gervonta Davis and having the fucking U.S. Marshals put out there on him to destroy his reputation, man. You are doing it. You're doing it. It doesn't make sense for anybody other than you. But when everything gets summarized and everything gets centralized, it relates to you, buddy. And you think you're Mr. Invisible. You think you're Mr. fucking Invisible. You think you slip in and you slip out. You slip in and you slip out. Everybody knows you, but nobody says your name. Because you think you're fucking, what's that dude's name? You think you Kaiser Sosa. You think you're Kaiser Sosa. Walking around with a limp. Nobody knows this. Nigga, I know it's you. I know it's you. You're everywhere this bullshit pops off. Especially Israel. You're everywhere. Especially Israel. But you're not the boss. You're not. It's very easy to confuse you with the boss. That's why you do it. So people can confuse you with the boss. You're very easy to confuse with the boss. Very easy to confuse. If somebody's trying to figure out who the boss is, they're going to get near you. You're going to be one of the last 6 or 7 candidates for who the man really is. And you know full well you're not him. But you impersonate him. You make sure that nobody knows it is him. So that the facade can continue. And you do it what? And your capacity is the heads of what? Sanitation. Absolutely. Your job is to keep rats away. So you set rat traps. But many of the rat traps are set for people that are supposed to be there. You don't let people in the building. You don't let the people, you pay certain people more money and other people don't get paid at all. You sell companies and move people from one company to the other company. You move them from one manager to the next manager. Well, or should I say, you used to do that. That's what I should say. You used to do that. You don't do that anymore. Which is why, bro, we moved. You're the fucking Wizard of Oz, huh? Bro, that curtain and all of those little shits that you're moving, there you are standing behind the curtain. I get sick of shit, make it all the way to Oz, open that bitch up, and I'm sitting in the same company I was always working with the same people in the same positions, doing the same thing under different names, company names, position names, but they're still doing the same thing. Because you guys played a shell game, moved everybody all over the place, changed the names of all the companies, so this guy never could think that he knew where he was. Yeah, you guys are fucked, bro, in such a major way, bro. Turki, Alalshiekh in Saudi Arabia never paid a dime. They never paid a dime. All they did was take money. That's it. They weren't paying for those arms. All they did was move money from one account that is one company and move it into another account that was owned by the same company. That's all you did is move the money. That's all you did. He didn't invest and buy anything. You just moved the product because you moved money from one account to another. From one cell on a spreadsheet to another cell on a spreadsheet. Dog, the reason that, what's that guy's name? David what? The guy that just bought all those companies? David Ellis. Dude, the reason that they have money is because of object-oriented databases. The reason that they have any money at all is because the technology that they had for relational databases. Database technology, human resource technology. That's David Ellison. That's the Ellison that was his father. That is information systems. That's the CIA. Yes, it is. David Ellison and those guys are the CIA. They are intelligence agencies. Yes, they are. Because you can't have relational databases. You can't have that type of technology unless you got it from the military first. And these guys are always guys that privatize older military technology. You want to know why? Because they're military people in the secret services, in the intelligence community. And that's why they are said, oh, they have all these billions. No, they don't. No, they don't. They live just like Jeffrey and Epstein. He had access to all this money. He had access to the islands. He had access to the girls. He had access to the planes. He had access to the people. That's what he had, access. And he used all of that access from other people. He didn't actually have any money. You can't find any source of his money. All Epstein was a shell game used to blackmail politicians and wealthy people. It was an organized operation with the intelligence communities. That's what David Ellison is. He's in the intelligence community. He is controlling billions of dollars. And yes, they will then go into investing their money into football, into basketball, because they're spreading the intelligence agency into those environments as well. They're controlling those industries as well. That's the intelligence community. That's not the money. The guys that you say are billionaires are not billionaires. They're members of the intelligence community. That's it. You're hiding the people that really have the money. You're hiding the people that really have the money. The intelligence community has basically kidnapped the people that have the money with the help of the Congressional Black Caucus, with the help of these people. And then they turn that money into these billionaire operations. That's what it is. And these people have control over what is happening, unless you refuse to let them have any control, unless you try to blackball them, unless you try to ostracize them. And you did it with the excuse that, oh, these are protected people. No, we really can't deal with it. You know the deal. So anyway, you guys in a lot of trouble, bro. Turki Alalshiekh is going to retire before Gervonta does. You know why? Because we say so. Let me tell you how these people talk. One of the women in management, when push comes to shove, you know what her answer always is? Because I say so. The end of their logic always ends with this: because I say so. It doesn't matter what the conversation is or why you're arguing. At the end of the day, it is the way it is because they say so. And they're not taking any orders from people that they believe are that they don't want to take orders from. So if somebody says work for me and they are supposed to work for somebody, if they don't want to work for that person, they're just going to tank that person. And that's what you guys have done. You've tanked him. You tanked this guy. You tanked him. What's up, Deluxe Recording? Says shit's a double game, a bunch of pyramid schemes and shell companies. Yep. Bunch of pyramid schemes and shell companies. But I got to the bottom of it and you're fired. You know what you can know for sure about the guy that's at the center of everything is that he doesn't know. Because the right hand never tells the left hand what they're doing, right? The right hand should never tell the left hand what they're doing. This cat wants to be the right hand. He's not a hand. You're a janitor. Go back and do your fucking job. And I mean it. Or somebody else is going to do the job for you. And if you ever try to prevent the owner from walking in the building again, you're more than likely going to get thrown into the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, buddy. I mean it. If you ever in your lives try to prevent the owner from walking into his own building, if you ever try to prevent the owner from walking in his own house, or if you put wiretapping in his house, if you wiretap his computer, wiretap his phone, what do you think is going to happen when he finds it out? You think because you're related, that's why you're thinking, oh, he loves his family. No, he don't. Not that much. Bro, let me tell you something, man. I love my family. I don't love my family that much. No. I don't love y'all enough to live in misery for you. You know what I'm saying? No. Just hope they expose the Americans. Oh, I'm talking about Americans. These are all Americans. Everybody that I'm talking about is an American. Everybody that I talk about is American. Oh, he's been told not to come back. He got his orders to see. He got cease and desist orders. Kamal Oz got cease and desist orders because Kamal went too far. But he went too far because this guy goes too far. Like, serious, man. The dude that I'm talking about is a good guy. In his heart, he's a good guy. He's not a bad guy. He's a good guy. Now, you know what I mean? Does a lot for people, everything. Does a lot, really wants to help people out. The only problem is it's not his job. He wants to do a job that's not his job. I don't care how good a mind you have and how nice you'll be if it's not your job. And the people that are around him are acting like it's his job. And they know full well it's not his job. But yet they treat and they act like it's his job. So when he asks them to do something, they do it. And when they ask him to do something, he does it. Because all of them are running around acting like it's his job when they all know it's not his job. And that either any of them can expose him at any time. So it becomes this little cabal of people that can't tell the truth. So literally in this organization, the CEO has been fired. The head of human resource has been fired. The head of finance has been fired. Every single solitary person on the board of directors has been let go. They're not paying anybody on this board of directors. How can you have a board of directors for a company that this man owns, but this man is not on the board of directors? You guys got a board of directors that have no owners on it. All people that get to direct the company and get paid to direct the company by the fucking head janitor. But yet, seriously, it's that crazy. It's that crazy. It's crazy what they're doing. No joke. These dudes know they don't have any ability to spend this money. And then they got political contacts in the Congressional Black Caucus. They've got banks. They got connections at the banks. Why do you think Ari Emanuel has bank level access? Bank level access. And do you also know that they knew about the Paramount Plus? They knew before they announced that the Paramount Plus deal went through, they already knew that they were going to sign the UFC and move the UFC over there. If you knew what it said was that if you knew what you was about the boxing industry now 20 years ago, you think the solutions to make, bro, it happened 20 years ago, Isaiah. Brother, what I'm talking about happened 20 years ago. 20 years ago, all right, here. 20 years ago, around 2006, 2008, somewhere in there, a European crown prince, okay? It was a crown prince at the time. The man that I'm talking about in 2006 was a crown prince. His father was still alive. His father was the king, right? He didn't live with his father, didn't grow up with his father, none of that. But still, his father was a king, right? So this son was a crown prince at the time. So the crown prince went to a boxing match because he was a big boxing fan. He told people in the boxing world, guys that ran HBO at the time, he said, this guy wants to invest millions in the boxing world. The guy said, oh, do you really want to invest millions in the boxing world? This guy said, yes, I do. I want to invest millions. Okay, so the fight ends. From right there, that's how the PBC got their money. That's how Floyd Mayweather Jr. became independent from Top Rank. That's how the PBC got their money, right there. Little things like that changed the course of boxing. That meeting right there that took place, I'm telling you what it was. It was right there. Floyd Mayweather Jr. was still with Top Rank. This guy said he wanted to invest money. So they got in contact. So they were able to get money from investment banking firms to invest in the PBC. So Al Heyman and those guys got invested in boxing, and they started putting on boxing matches, and they started signing boxers. But the reason they were able to do it is because this crown prince said invest in boxing. I mean, seriously, that's how the money came into boxing in 2008, 2006, 2008, somewhere around there. There was a crown prince, and he was let me tell you why he's a crown prince. He was a crown prince because his father was incapacitated. His father didn't die for several years later, but his father was incapacitated. So he became a crown prince. So all the investments and things that his father owned, basically he got management of it. So he said that he wanted to invest in boxing because he was a Floyd Mayweather fan. He was a Roy Jones Jr. fan. So basically, that's when all the money for the PBC came into boxing. That's when Floyd was able to get out of his contract with Bob Arum. That's when that rift took place. So that's why the PBC had all that money over the course of years. But they were always saying that that's why they tried to. But look, the people that didn't want that money to go to the PBC always referred to it as a loan. That's why I kept saying it's not a loan, it's an investment. But they kept saying, no, it's an investment. I mean, no, it's a loan. It was never a loan. So what they want to do is, what do? They got in cahoots with management over time, because over time, management changed. In between 2006 and 2020, a lot of management changed, a lot of things shifted. So as their organization grew, this budget, they wanted to do something different with the money. So they stopped using the money for American fights, and they moved the money over to do UK fights. And that's where the Zone was founded. That's when Eddie Hearn started competing with the PBC. That's when US fighters started signing with them. That's what that is. That's because this guy started it 20 years ago. And then 20 years later, when his father dies, the organization changes. But they basically have a coup where these guys are trying to take over for the crown prince. So they basically they set up a system around the guy where they steal from him, they run everything, and this is just what happened inside of the sport of boxing. But other than that, as we get back to this guy's father was huge globally, and absolutely could start wars, stop wars. Heck, I don't even want to get into it about how influential this guy's father was. So anyway, they don't want the son to be that influential, when the truth of the matter is the son is much more influential, because the son has much more money because of the mother of the son, right? Because the father has money, but the father married royalty. And the mother got a lot of money. So the father and the mother, basically the son got more money than the father. The son had more money than the father. The son doesn't even need the father's money. So what do? They boxed off the mother's money. And they boxed off the father's money. And they start using it in ways that they want to use it. I'm telling you, man, that's what it is. And these guys are very powerful because he's a king. He's literally a king. That's why, and just to bring it back to reality, so you guys know it's reality, where does Ari Emanuel get their money from? Sovereign wealth funds. Where did Turki Alalshiekh get his money from? Sovereign wealth funds. Sovereign wealth funds that were passed into hedge funds. Where did Bud get the money for the fight with Errol Spence Jr.? From a hedge fund. And I know this. Who did Terence Crawford meet with in person? I know of a royal person that he met with. I know of it. He played ping pong with him. And lost. And when you lose money to this guy, you lose everything to this guy. Yes, you do. When you gamble with a warlord or a wannabe warlord, because this guy wants to be a warlord. He wants to be a warlord. No, it's already over with. It's over with. For 9, if you got agents coming into your chat to promote propaganda, that means they believe you and you are important on the target. Oh, I'm on the target. I'm talking to the guy specifically. Brother, I'm talking to you specifically. Because I know when I see you, you will never say this to me out of your mouth. So I'm telling you that I know what's going on to you directly in a way that you can absorb it. Okay? A way that you can understand it in the way that everybody on the team can understand it. Brother, you don't run anything. Nothing. 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 No responsibilities anymore. None. Not a single one. You don't have agency to sell you can't chew bubble gum in this guy's name anymore. Because you abused it so badly. No, they can't keep it up. No, they don't have. No. The only thing that's going to happen is the money that's in the system is going to trickle out. That's it. The money in the system is going to trickle out. That's the only thing that's going to happen. The money that these guys have in their pockets, literally, is the only money that's going to move anywhere. Any of these big deals that you thought that you were going to get, they all got cut out because of force majeure. They got out of all their contracts because there was an act of God, a big war that doesn't allow them to sacrifice, that doesn't allow them to satisfy any of their requirements, literally gets them out of every contract they have with you. So you thought, just so we can get very, very clear about what you guys did, you guys signed this man up to all kind of agreements that he didn't have any say-so in. And you did it, and you bound him to these agreements for long periods of time without any adequate compensation. That's what you did. And you thought because you had agency that all you had to do is just get the contract signed, and then eventually he's going to be stuck and he's going to have to perform under these contracts. That's what you thought. But what happened? When you blow up half of the Middle East, they're going to want out of their contracts because they can't provide any services. So you thought you tied us to contracts with Saudi Arabia to provide them with weapons, to provide these guys shit for decades. You thought you were going to make every decision for decades before this guy got back to the office. And then you were going to be like, well, we can't change it. What he did was, brilliantly, made the other people cancel the contracts. So now Turki Alalshiekh has to cancel the contracts. Why? Because, and let me tell you why the contracts are void. Because there is no option for anybody to fight in rehab. There's no options for any fights for anybody in rehab. None. None. They can't have one there. And since they can't have one there, then they get to say, well, guess what? We can't provide the services, so we can't get the weapons. If they can't pay the $6 billion, they don't get the weapons. They don't get the weapons. OZ said, I peeped that, but you filled in the gaps nicely. Oh, I'm going to fill in all the gaps. Thanks you, Deluxe Records. Oh, I'm talking to somebody specifically, brother. Let me tell you something, man. Brother, I'm 57 years old, dog. I'm not a little kid. Hey, Tommy Lee said, boxing took my interest because of the political connections about 6 years ago, but I didn't see it. I didn't see this coming. Yeah, it shut everything down. I'm telling you, man, you steal from a king when he's gambling and having fun. But more importantly, bro, you kidnapped a king, dog. Yes, you did, bro. You guys literally sold this guy out to the enemy. You sold him to the enemy within his own camp. Yes, you did. Because honestly, you guys like people that his father don't like. But there's a reason why he didn't grow up with his dad. Because y'all didn't want him anywhere near his dad. And now we know why y'all didn't. My boy had a hard life. My boy had a hard life, dog. I swear to God, man, I just really feel for this dude in some ways. This dude was kept from his father his entire life because these people did not want this man to be taught by his father. And then because he was going to squire with somebody else. They squire with somebody else, and this guy sells this dude to sells him to the enemy the first day he shows up. So sad. Nah, Bud probably didn't get any money. Bud got a promise. Let me tell you, man. Let me tell you something, bro. E-Double said Bud's not out. He took the money. No, let me tell you something, bro. Nah, Bud's out because this guy's out. Bud's out because this guy's out. All of his real estate projects are done. He doesn't own that real estate. Let me tell you something. Dude, Bud's fuck around and have all of his fucking properties foreclosed on. I'm telling you, man, Bud will fuck around and have all of his properties foreclosed on in about 3 weeks. I mean, it's that serious, bro. You guys can have these guys' houses getting snatched back, bro. Like, you guys played around. You know who you played around with, bro. Y'all called it, but you call it money, man. When I was a kid, when I had a lot of money, you used to call it Blackwell money. Money they don't even give a fuck about. Like shit you could burn. Like seriously, man, this is some funny shit, bro. And there was a point in time, bro, when there was so much money flowing around me that there was the phrase that they used to use. And they would say, what money is that? And they would call it Blackwell money. That's what they would call it. They would say, oh, that's Blackwell money. That's funny. This guy has money where this dude pays $1, he's giving you 10 million. They have set up a system around this guy where if he spends $1, he's giving these people as much money as they want, bro. It's crazy, bro. I could see that too. Bud was signed a dotted line without his lawyer. No, it doesn't matter about his lawyer. It doesn't matter about his lawyer. Bro, a contract is no good if they can break up the contract and they don't abide by the contract and you can't enforce it. What are you going to do to this guy? You can't enforce a contract on this guy. You can't enforce one. What are you going to do? The guy is going to, if you go to court, The judge is, all that's going to happen is the judge isn't going to fine for you. If you go to court, you're going to be stuck in years. You're going to be stuck in court for 5 years while he runs up your fucking bills. And at the end of the day, you're going to turn around and have to pay his lawyer's fees. So how are you going to sue the guy? It's literally going to be cheaper for you to leave him alone. But I'm sorry. You can sue him now. I'm sorry. Now you can sue him. Now you can sue him because he doesn't have access to these lawyers anymore. Have you guys heard of Prince Andrew? Have you guys ever heard of Prince Andrew? Basically, this dude is Prince Andrew. Let me tell you who the guy is. Basically, he's Prince Andrew. He got stripped of his title and he got stripped of all his influences. And so therefore, he's just a regular family member that is never going to be hungry. But all of his titles, he lost his titles. Since he lost his titles, he can't help you anymore. You know what I mean? So it's just what it is. But yeah, that's what happened to this guy. He got disowned. All of them got disowned, really. And why is that? Because they sold out their family member, bro. This guy was the heir. It's his money. It's his money. You always knew it was his money. So you guys created a system where you would always be taken care of. And that's not a problem. You know what I mean? Like the fact that you took care of this guy and you were taken care of for a long time. And dog, there's no reason why you shouldn't still be taken care of and your life shouldn't be beautiful. But you guys did something else totally differently. You sold out and basically sold out the entire organization so that you could gut all the money from it and that you would never have to work for him and you would never have to take orders from him and you could continue to tell him what to do in his personal life. To tell the truth, you guys don't even want to work. You only work when he's around. You only take jobs at places that he works to or he's somehow connected to. And the only reason you take a job is so that you can influence outcomes. It's not that you're taking the job because you need the money, because you don't even have to work. You've already stolen enough money and have enough money in your bank accounts to live for as long as you need to live. The only problem is you don't have any justification without a job for how you get the money, because you're storing the money in places that you shouldn't be storing it in. Anyway, man, you guys are organized crime. And I'm unorganizing it. And because you're organized, it's not very hard to understand what you're doing. So you guys are in the United States playing games with the king because you don't want this man to ever take a throne, like the Game of Thrones or some shit. You guys are going to set him up you guys are going to sit the dude on his throne, blind him, make him blind, make him deaf, make him mute. And then meanwhile, you're going to do all the business in all your little settings to the side, bro. And you're going to do it all in his name. And if he ever gets off that seat and tries to start running stuff himself, you're going to use the King's Guard to try to kill him so that you can pass his dumb son or his dumb nephew and put him on the throne. So then you can do the same thing with that because you think this guy is only a figurehead. That's what you want him to be. You want him to be a figurehead. But you didn't even want him to be a figurehead before. You just wanted him dead. Then when he got to a certain level of accomplishment, you couldn't hide him anymore. So you tanked him. And then you took over his positions and all his responsibilities. And then you used that to steal all his money and pass it out to your friends. So you guys could be the life of the party and travel the world and be celebrated. But this guy's job is to sit on the throne and do nothing. And just smile and be a figurehead for you. But he said, nah, I think I would rather run the place. So you say, no, you can't run it. So you try to kill him when he wants to run it. And then he finds out everything that's going on. You guys are dead. It's just that simple. And by the way, all of your enemies are all going to want you dead. Because these guys were only doing business with you because you knew you were subverting him. So these guys are all going to run away from you like you got COVID. They're going to run away from you like COVID because they know full well that this guy has figured it out. Yeah, you guys were never going to let this man know this, ever. It took me to tell him. Just so you know, it took me snitching to him at great personal great personal risk to myself. It took me snitching to him to tell him what's going on and to let him know that when he spends $1, these guys are charging him $1 million. When they sell him something for $5, they're selling it to him for whatever amount of money, as long as it's a 5. Because let me tell you the math. As long as the first numbers are the same, it doesn't matter. If you pay $5 on their 6th set of books, it could be 6 trillion. On their 5th set of books, it's billions. In the set of books above that, it's hundreds of millions, then tens of millions, then single millions. Just like when you have a government, because if you guys have ever worked in government or big business, when you see their money, bro, they put all their money in millions. A major corporation, when they say they spent $1, they are really saying they spent $1 trillion, because that's how they keep their books. So basically, this guy has a private bank account that is where he's seeing it say 5 with 3 zeros behind it. But really, that's not a 0, because they don't want to put the other 15 zeros on the spreadsheet. So they account for it in 6 or 7 different books. But whenever something hits his personal life, it can hit the 6th one, which is including military spending. Because we know it's intelligence spending, military spending, domestic spending, international spending, or whatever the set of books that you have that you're balancing across him. That's what you're doing. You're not doing anything other than what Waste Management got caught doing with Deloitte and Touche. Deloitte and Touche had like 4 sets of books for Waste Management. I remember when I was a kid and I was working with Waste Management in Oak Brook, Illinois. Bro, your intelligence is dangerous. Be careful, brother, please. I'm snitching to myself. Bro, let me tell you something. Bug juice, there's nothing they can do to me. Nothing. Do you remember when I told y'all that I was a warlock and everybody joked? Listen, I told you guys on this internet, and I was saying, and I meant it when I said it. I said, oh yeah, I'm a warlock. Without a doubt. And then people, oh, you're crazy. And then I explained what I meant when I said I'm a warlock. A warlock is somebody that can lock you in war. I can put you in a war. I am strategically positioned to put you in a war. And everybody's going to be at war, and nobody's going to be at war with me. Get it? You can't touch me because everybody in the war is going to kill you for touching me. I'm literally an asset to every single solitary person in that organization. Me. I am a benefit to the owner. I'm a benefit to the other executives. I'm a benefit to the employees. Everybody in that organization needs me. Everybody. So what I'm telling you is, no, what I mean is it's a play on war. It's a play on words. I'm saying that I can lock you in a war. I can lock you in a war. I put myself in a position that if you play with me, somebody's going to get you. Because these people don't want me hurt. Why? Because I'm giving them the information that they need. I'm giving them the access that they need. I'm giving them what they need. So they don't want me hurt. And anybody that would hurt me, they know that if they hurt me, they're hurting this interest. My guy doesn't want me hurt. For nothing in this world does this man want me hurt. So they all know. They already know that if they mess with me, this guy's going to find out everything. But they have to make sure that they keep me away from everybody. They got to keep me away from everybody. That's why they always gaslight me. They're always on my channel hating on me because I'm the guy that can tell the owner. And also, I'm the plug to the owner. This guy doesn't trust any of you anymore. None of you, whether you're in his family or not in your family. He doesn't trust any of you. And I exposed the whole thing from the trust funds to the hedge funds to the time and the meetings that he had with certain people to the relationship that he has with his family. I explained every bit of this. I explained to him. I was like, bro, let me tell you where it started. I was like, man, have you ever noticed how much security you got around you? And he was like, what you mean? I was like, bro, you ever notice, bro, that you got a lot of security around you, dog? Like, there's always planes flying over you. There's always helicopters around you. You ever notice that whenever you go somewhere, bro, that he was like, yeah, I've kind of know. I was like, bro, you're being watched. I was like, bro, that's you. He said, well, man, what? I told him. I was like, bro, he's like, yeah, I know I'm rich. That's what he said. He's like, I know I'm rich. I know my family got money. I said, no, bro, you don't understand how much money you have to pay for this 24/7 security you got, man. You got 24 hours a day security in every country you go to and a new set of security everywhere you go. Bro, how do you pay for that? Do you know how much that costs to do that, bro? They're paying at least $1 million a month to secure you. At least. Bro, that's not the state doing that. That's a private security firm that they're paying $12 million a month to watch you, $1 million a month to watch you, homie. And he's like, yeah, I get it. And he's like, damn, it costs that much? Like, yeah, it costs that much. So, bro, how much are you worth? And he was like, man, I mean, we got money, but da-da-da. Bro, he had no clue. I was like, nah, bro, you need to probably study some archaeology. Bro, you need to understand, dog, that you're that nigga, bro. Like, seriously, man, you're that dude. And it flowed ever since that way for him. And he's done a lot of really great things. And he's made a lot of money for people. And he gave a lot of people money away. And he became a great source to black people, bro. Like, a lot of people don't know that a lot of the things that these people said that they did for black people are really him. Like, you remember that billionaire, the black billionaire that said that they paid for all of those tuitions? Bro, the only reason that black billionaire has any money is because this guy gave him a contract, and then he was instructed to do it and pay it forward to black students. The reason that guy has all the business is because he gets the business from this guy's family business. And that black business then gives money to colleges and universities. So it's like, bro, no, he didn't understand how his position in his family made him super influential over the amount of money in his family. Now, I ain't out here casting spells. Don't tell on me, bro. You heard it here, folks. His brother just said he a warlock. Get help, brother. Dude, brother, you're a dumbass, bro. You're a dumbass, bro. I literally said war, to put somebody in a war. That is not a magical thing, stupid. Just like wizards are not people that have wands. When they refer to somebody that is wizened, they are referring to people that are wise. When they are referring to people that are warlocks, they're referring to people that literally, because of their status in society, can cause a world war. That's why they call it that. And then people put it in stories and they tell stories about it. But no, listen to the word. The word wizard means a wise person. Somebody that is knowledgeable of the esoteric sciences. It's a wise man. Just like the three wise men came and saw Jesus. No, that's what it is. And just like they talk about the pharaohs and the magicians of dude, these are all teachers, wise people. So when you have guys like Rasputin put everybody in war, didn't he? How could Rasputin put all these guys in a war? Because of the connections that he had and the knowledge that he had and the ability that he had. And he did what? He caused a lot of wars. That's why Rasputin is known as a warlock. Not because he's in a movie written by Disney. So anyway, yeah, you got to go. I'm trying to teach you guys something. So anyway, like I said, there are people, if you attack them, brother, you're going to be in a war. Exactly. The Wizard of Oz. Exactly. Exactly. Rasputin was somebody that could control because he was a what? He was somebody that could put you in war. It's not any more difficult than that, stupid. Hey, Blue Blood. Hey, Blue Blood. Why don't you do live streams anymore? Hey, Blue Blood. Why don't you do live streams anymore, bro? They told you to shut up? Anyway, man, let me get out of here, man. No, I have not seen a picture of Tank in a car wreck. No, I have not. I'm not interested. You guys are going to try to threaten. What are you going to do? Try to threaten Tank? You're going to try to get Tank in a car wreck? What he said he was intelligent and could manipulate even the wicked witch to stay away. Yeah, that's what it is. And I mean it, dog. I can get you in a war. I mean it. Y'all think I do? First of all, you already know I'm not crazy. Because y'all already know. So there ain't no need. What do you guys used to say? What is known, what is said, no need to be understood. Oh, I didn't get no super chats today. Crash apps today. Damn. Hey, said, what happened to Big U and the Ricos? Big U's ass is in jail and the Ricos are still going on. Same thing. I got dudes coming for you. Okay. Look, bro, no dudes are going to come for me because I'm not homosexual. Okay. You guys like men. Blue Blood likes men. Champside likes men. Y'all like men. I don't like men. Y'all like men. Y'all like men. I don't like men. You like men. I don't like men. Y'all like men. That's why y'all can talk crazy to women like that. I don't like men. You guys like men. That's why you guys are so, that's why you guys are in the gay mob. Dog, y'all are the gay mob, bro. Let's not act like y'all ain't the gay mob. Okay, you're the gay mob. You're the you are. You're the gay mob. You know what I'm saying? You're the gay mob, bro. Let's be honest about what you guys are. You're the gay mob. Yes, you are. You don't have no girlfriends. You ain't got no wives. The people that you say are your kids are really your cousins. Stop it. Okay, you guys are the gay mafia, dog. Shut the fuck up. You're the gay mob. And I'm not interested in you niggas. Go away. And yes, you got the gay Israeli mob. You got the gay black mob. All you niggas hang out in a little circle trying to call me gay all the time. Really, you guys are just man fans and got this secret unity about each other because you're sleeping with each other. Okay? I saw you niggas when you tried to take me. I'm just trying to tell you that's what they are, bro. They're the gay mob, dog. That's what they are. Blue Blood is the gay mob, dog. That's the gay mob. It is. I don't give a fuck. That's the gay mob, nigga. That's the gay mob, bro. Chuck E. Cheese is the head of the gay mob, bro. What it is, what it is. These niggas got way too much energy and way too much conversation about same sex over there, bro. You know what I mean? I mean, it is. That's what it is. That's what them dudes are. They're actors, but that's who's the best at acting. Those are the guys they're used to acting. They're in the closet. Of course they're acting. Of course they're actors. They're the fucking gay mob. That's what the fuck they are. They're the gay mob. Just like you got the Jewish mob, you got other kind of people. You guys mob up, you click up. That's what a mob is. You guys mob up, you click up. Yeah, you do. And I know that I got cousins that are gay, a bunch of them, nigga. So I know what y'all are about. And some of them are cool. But Marcus Blackwell, bro, you better get your ass fucked from around me, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only one that I will say need to get the fuck from around me is a nigga named Marcus. You better get your bitch ass from around me, homie. That nigga better go away. Anyway, I know full well who runs your little sweetie pie mob. The person that runs your sweetie pie mob is out of California, and he used to live in Pennsylvania. Dude, dog, now that I know who the royal family is, I'm going to tell you flat out, I know who this royal family is. And since I know who this royal family is, and I've been all around this royal family, bro, you can't hide shit from me. You can't hide shit from me. If you got a little contingent of people, I know who in that family has that contingency. In this contingency, it's somebody out of Philadelphia that's living over there in fucking California and causing all kind of goddamn trouble, bro. Marcus. I know it's him, okay? Stop it, all right? All y'all in trouble, bro. That's how much trouble you guys are in. I know everybody in the royal family, and they're not even white. So you guys got your little white counterparts. You guys pull this bullshit off trying to convince people of this, that, and the other thing so you guys can stay in the shadow. Meanwhile, you work through operatives. You work through all kind of people to pull all kind of fucking strings. Yeah, you do. You got other royal people out there in the front, but you niggas are never on camera. You guys are always living in normal houses, walking around, controlling every fucking thing, bro. Anyway, I know who you are. I know who you are. I literally know who you are. I know who you are. I know what your names are. I know where you live. I know what you do. I know all of that shit about you. I know everything about you. Everything. And more importantly than anything, you connect to 4 people. All of y'all are connected to one of 4 people. So if I get rid of the 4 people, I get rid of all of you. All I got to do is get rid of the 4 people that you're connected to. One of your guys passed away. The other one don't want nothing to do with you. Trust me. They just sitting there upset about the whole thing and staying out of the way and not taking a side. And the rest of you 4 are out here trying to conspire to get shit popping. But the one knows that the 4, all you got to do is fire them from their jobs. All you got to do is do like they did Prince Andrew and take their titles, take their agency, and let everybody know that they no longer have any authority and nobody underneath them has any authority as it relates to the owner. As it relates to the owner, you have no authority. And if you get in the way of the owner in any way, shape, form, or fashion, vicious acquiescence, refusal to do what's required of you, any deal that you stand in the way from, you're going to lose your job too. And you're going to be replaced right away as soon as you don't do what you're told. We're not going to be having these 90-year conversations. We're not going to be having committee meetings where 30 people vote on the same thing. We're not going to do any of that democracy shit. We're going to have martial law in this bitch. That's why you got this problem. You're going to have martial law in this bitch. And what this person says is goes. And you're going to do your job. And then everything is going to fix itself. Oh, that's funny as hell. All for one and one for all. Hell yeah, that's exactly what it was. All for one, all for 4. All 4 for one and one for all. Exactly. All 4 ripping off one while the 4 take everything. Anyway, man, I'm sick of this shit. You niggas heard what I said. We ain't having no committee members. We're not having any committee meetings, therapy meetings, none of that shit. You niggas are just flat out fucking fired. Anyway, deuces, love it. Another great show, Martin. Keep shutting down these clans. So glad I was here and didn't miss it. Thank you, brother. And with that, I'm going to get out of here. Deuces, thank y'all for joining this channel, members. We have, how many channel members? I think we got like 3 or 4 channel members today. Yes, we did. We got On the Money Line, Latrell. We got Jay Skywalker was already a member. And my guy, Comeback Protocol, David Lynch, 2 Cent, Infinity Excellence. Thank y'all for joining. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.